is Lisa. I need to make a card for my husband's birthday, and this is going to be a card all about repurposing some older things, using some stuff that you might be thinking you should just trash, scrap kind of stuff. And it started with the idea that I wanted to use some of my book papers, especially the ones with drawings, to do something for him that reflected the more technical side of his personality. And also I picked out some page out of, I think this is a grammar book, that kind of thing. That's a real big thing for him. Is when he was a substitute teacher for a while during his retirement, he called himself the grammar cop, which he had a lot of work to do when he went to the high school doing that. But anyway, I want to use some of these pieces, and I also got inspired when I was thinking, okay, what size card? I have these envelopes that I bought at a resale shop and a place where people donate stuff, and then the proceeds go to a charity. So I got a bunch of really nice envelopes for a cheap price, and these will hold a 5x7 card. So I have, in the spirit of repurposing, gone to my scrap cardstock drawer and see what size, what 12 by 12 sheet I had that I could use, because I need a pretty good size piece of paper for this. And so I went ahead and pulled out this one that I had printed something on, and I had to scrap it out because it got so messed up in the printer. So we're going to cut that down, and if there's any text showing, we'll cover it. I needed another scrap piece of cardstock. You'll see how we use that in a moment. And this is my stamp set, which is an older stamp set from Stampin' Up. And finally, the Split Coat Stampers today is their ways to use it. Challenge is to use duct tape. The idea being that Father's Day is coming along and you might need to make a Father's Day card. I have my Father's Day card for my dad, so I'm going to do this one with my husband. This is probably a little bit misleading because I'm sort of the queen of duct tape around this house. I'm the one who uses it for everything. He doesn't use it for as much stuff as I do, but I think he'll still appreciate if I can figure out how to use it on the card. I have not quite worked that part out. What I want to do is put some of these papers on this 5x7 sheet and use and stencil over them. Now, if I use mist or whatever, they're going to start to change in size and curl up a little bit. So I thought what I would do is sponge my color on using my Distress Oxide inks. Those colors will be nice and rich on this, and then we'll sort of go from there. So let's lay that aside. I'll be needing to cut that down in a little bit. This will be my base sheet, and I'm just going to cut and lay some of these papers in. Kind of lay them across, and then we'll trim down as we need to. Not going to worry too much about how they look.
These papers are from a variety of sources. You can find a selection of these on my Etsy shop at Lovely Layers Art. This last one is related to my husband's business with pinball machines, and it's just an extra schematic and thing that he didn't need anymore. So I'm going to put lots of adhesive down and then just lay these on there, make sure I get good coverage. I'm not worrying too much about the edges. We're going to trim the outside edge of the paper. Do that on the paper trimmer. And I'm coming back, and this particular stencil I cut on the silhouette, and I'll put that on the screen so you can see where it came from. There were, I think, 4 stencils in the cut that you purchased, and this is the only one I've cut so far, but it's really a nice one because you've got a lot of open space there, and you can get your colors in the spaces really well. So I'm using the Distress Oxide inks. I am not going to add water to them. I'm just going to leave them in their natural form. These take a little bit longer to dry than the other inks, but you could use any inks. It wouldn't matter. If I put water on it, though, that paper is going to want to curl up a little bit, and I don't want that to happen. I want to go around the edge with a little bit of the vintage photo color, just kind of give it a shadow. And it goes with this sort of antique-y look of those papers. Now I want to put enjoy across the middle, and I decided I would put it on some vellum. I've got again a scrap piece of vellum. I'm using archival ink, and I considered a color, but I decided to go with the brown. Well, brown's a color, but you know, I said something besides neutral, but I decided to go with the neutral. So I'm putting enjoy in there, and I could stamp something in the middle of that O, the O in enjoy, but I think I'll put a brad there. Since it's a card I don't have to mail, it can be as thick as I want it to be. And I've got to put enjoy every moment. So I've got to put every moment on something. And that's where I decided to try the duct tape. So I am stamping again with archival ink on the duct tape. I hope this is going to work. It will need some time to dry. Archival ink typically dries immediately, but it's going on this very slick surface. So I'm just going to give it a minute or two to dry. Honestly, I didn't test it. It could have been dry immediately, but I didn't want to smudge it. So I just left it there for a minute or so and let it get good and dry. And then taped it, it's very easy to do, to the front of the card. And I found a brad with what looks like a little piece of equipment. It actually looks like a sewing machine. I'm not sure what it is. It's very antique-y looking, so we'll put that on there in the O, and we're ready to just glue this onto the front of the cardstock, which didn't have to be 12 by 12. I could have cut this out of 8.5 by 11. I wasn't really thinking, but nonetheless, I have my card front, and I'll stamp a greeting on the inside, and there's my card. So I hope you enjoyed the card today, and if you want to visit me at my site, it's lisaedesign.com, or my Etsy shop, Lovely Layers Art. Thanks so much.